All right, guys. As you may know or may not know, I am your host, Auntie Sage. Welcome again to another episode of Skoden Talks with the Homies. Um, IP3 is an organization that provides nonviolent direct action training, campaign strategy, and community organizing tools to support Indigenous communities taking action in defense of their homelands. For more information about IP3 or to send community training requests, you can visit our website at ip3action.org or contact info at ip3action.org. Come on, everyone come in. Our special guest is here, all the way from the IP3 studios himself. Let's see. I did try to add you. Oh, there we go. Hey,
Hi. Hey.
hello. Welcome. Hopefully, we're doing good. Any lagging on yours or my end? You look good on my end.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me well, but I can hear
I
you
can
fine.
hear you loud and clear. All right. And then my ring light just decided to go out just now, so I'm not sure, but we're just going to go work with this light.
Okay.
All right. Well, how are you doing? Would you like to give yourself an introduction and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Averian, Chee. I go by Ave in the network. Um, I'm a painter. Oh, I'm from a place called Nazlini, Arizona, in northern Arizona, off the Dine Reservation. Uh, I'll intro myself in my language real quick for other native folks out there that are Dine. Kia ani nishlem mai deskijni bashashin, sitna jini dashache, do twoglini dashanale. Um, those are my family and my relations. So just wanted to say that real quick. Yeah, yeah, that's me.
Awesome. So, you say you are a painter and an artist. Um, I'd like to ask you, how did you get involved with IP3? And can you share some of your experiences as a trainer in the IP3 network?
Yeah, I got involved first with Ruckus Society, and then I knew a lot of people from there, and that kind of branched off into IP3 work. I was eventually brought in as a member in 2016 um, when I was brought out to Standing Rock to help organize the art build that was ongoing there. Um, that's how I got to work with IP3 and activism in general. I had been doing that since I was probably 17 or 18 years old, quite a while back, and started working with um, Native movement and under the Black Mesa Water Coalition back in the day, and then eventually started getting into painting murals with this art collective we started, um, which was called Black Sheep Art Collective.
Oh, nice. So, as an activist, especially starting so young, like what events or what had happened to make you want to be an activist and stand up for your peoples?
It was when I realized that art could make a real big difference in the movement, and that was when I worked in collaboration with Dona Tierra in Arizona, Puente. Um, I believe Cop Watch was there helping. Um, Ruckus came out to help too to do the training, and then we did a big march for SB 1070, and it was ever since then um, I really got to see what an art build can do and how much work we can get done in one night with just the community's help. So ever since then, I had been putting more effort into understanding what it takes to make a successful art build and to also um, create the right messaging for each community and their needs. So
Awesome. That's awesome. I personally myself, it just like always, I was always like scared to get involved because I didn't know how to or what that looked like. And then starting working with the youth, that was a whole nother calling. So I mean, I get that, I feel that, and I just once you finally find your niche, it's awesome to feel that.
yeah.
So how long have you been painting, and can you tell us about some of the other work or projects you've done as an artist?
I've been painting since 2004-ish, 2003. I was pretty young when I started. Before then, it was just, I think, photography and just drawing. Um, yeah, and over the years, I worked with some painters who eventually took me on and mentored me through the years. And I eventually got to work with them as they did actual like murals for the community. And I just came in, most times to mix colors or to just work in the background. But it was fun and I learned a lot. And what was the other? Sorry, I missed the other question.
And what are some of the other work and projects you've done as an artist?
The things that I do enjoy are painting murals. A lot of times it's because I get a large surface and I get to express myself with my body and moving, painting large scale with my whole body instead of just using my hands or my wrist or my arm. But also it's meant for the community to see too. So I want that outreach to happen and also for it to be substantial for a long time too. So
I'm doing
those
a
are
Skoden talks.
those are some of the projects I really enjoy doing. I also have been branching out into different forms of photography, printing, and then now that I have been learning to climb with IP3, I'm thinking of adding climbing to my like mural painting, doing larger surfaces. Um, so it's all about the projects getting larger and expressing myself larger.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, who would have been like one of your biggest inspirations to get you into this kind of work, or did this just come out of nowhere and was like, you know what, I feel like I want to do this one day?
Uh, yeah, a lot of the people I looked up to were peers, they're friends um, who were just doing the right thing. So I picked up what I learned from them. As an artist, though, I owe a lot of that knowledge to just practicing, collaborating with different artists, not just trying to learn from the best or the ones people look up to, but working with the community, doing like community projects and murals. A lot of the times you're collaborating with people who've never painted before, and their ideas are worth hearing, they're worth painting. So those collaborations really teach me a lot
Yeah.
in life.
Awesome. Um, where do you find inspiration for your art, and what do you hope people take from it?
I find inspiration through just my upbringings as from being Dine, and I learned a lot of my stories from my grandmother. Um, and there's a language barrier, but she never stopped speaking or telling the stories anyway, and I would pick up on them and learn them as best I can. Then over the years, just kind of picking up on little things, teaching myself, trying to relay the same messages to my kids and teach them the same stories when I can. Those are the things that inspired me over the years, and just people who are creative in general inspired me too.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mhm.
And what do you hope people would take away from it? Like, is there a message that you try to relay each time, or is it just take it as
Right.
you see it?
So like I come from a background that doesn't really have access to materials all the time. And that was how I started when I was younger. And now that the access to materials is greater, I see the potential all the time now. And every surface I see, it's different, right? So whenever I create a new piece, I almost feel obligated to make it special for myself so that I learn from it, so that I'm risking making a little risk each time so that I can appreciate the process by the time I'm finished. So I do try and put a lot of effort, a lot of like concept into each piece, but I also try and allow myself to have work that's just for me and that I can create on my own time and at my leisure, and it could take me a year or two, but it's just something fun for me to do on the side. So it's good to have both types of surfaces. But the way I work, my process, I have to have multiple projects going on at the same time, just so I don't feel like I'm wasting colors that I had created for this project. Now I can add it to this one over here because I know it needs the same tones. And I work kind of like that. It feels hectic, but my mind can organize those colors easily. So I have to have, like right now, I'm working on the porch outside this RV, and all my work is just kind of different surfaces, different mediums. All the materials are out and available so that I can just grab them when I feel like that's the one I needed. So that's how I'm creating now. That's my process. So just having multiple surfaces, but always taking risk and adding concept to that is probably the fun part. Sometimes you don't want people to get it right away. Sometimes you do. So it all depends on how you approach it.
Yeah. Art is its own interpretation, and I would rather it not get explained because I mean it could look something totally or mean something totally different to someone else, and I like that aspect because it's like speaks volumes and it's beautiful. Like we just had an artist from Canada do our graphics for the International Two Spirit Gathering here.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, and it's like a two spirit head, and then it's got like a river, and then it's got like all kind of things going on in its body. But like everybody has like interpreted, and like they see something totally different. But to me, it just feels like it's like Mother Earth with like all its kids, and then just life
Mm-hmm.
going on, and with this river. And I thought it was so beautiful, and a lot of people took it as something totally different and not even in that aspect. And I'm just kind of like, take a step back. I was like, maybe enlarge it or make it even smaller. But I see a lot of it. I was like, and I'm here for it. So
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy art in every aspect.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We love the use of textures in your work and how it draws our eye into the details. Can you describe your process and your use of texture?
Yeah, sometimes like the texture isn't really it looks textured, and the idea behind that is just layering colors next to each other so that they affect each other differently. There's a process called, or there's an optical effect called the Bezold effect, and that's spelled Bezold, and it's named after some dude, and it's about how colors interact with each other when they're around each other. So like like a red color painted on a surface with blue around it might make the red look more violet. So I use that illusion to my advantage while I paint. But it also means that I have to find complementary tones working against each other all the time, and learning to layer them in a way that it doesn't affect each other too much, but allows the flow to seem seamless or like flow, and for the harshness of those variation in colors to be more effective in areas that seem boring. So like yeah, that's my my process. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just kind of in my head and a part of how I paint now. I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, awesome. Um, Over the past few months, you've been the artist in residency on the farm at Coyote Crossing. What has your experience been like, and what are some of the things you've been able to accomplish on the land?
Um, yeah, it's been fun here. Um, Honestly, I wanted to get a lot of work done in with art, um, but I realized that being on the farm means that there's a lot of little projects to work on at all times, just to maintenance stuff or um, and all the other might seem boring, but you you get that opportunity to change the land to invite yourself or other people in, and so I've been trying to take that to heart and just realize that when I'm starting to work with the land here. But I also take care of the sheep here. I've grown up with sheep and goats when I was younger. I grew up pretty much in a farm life scenario, so I'm okay with that. So I can take care of sheep. We were shearing them too this just before summer started, which was pretty fun, and we got to work with other people with the community came through and helped us out with that. Um, yeah, and we rebuilt the office space here, which was previously like a water pumping house, and turned it basically renovated it and turned it into a conference room. And then we painted the inside. I did a mural on the wall, um, and yeah, just maintaining the garden here, harvesting as often as we can, giving the leftovers to the sheep, and just trying to exist here with the land and understand it better. I'm from the Southwest, so it's a little different being out here. A lot more moisture, and yeah, I kind of miss the Southwest, but I really enjoyed it out here.
Yeah.
Not too many pokey things that can hurt you too much, like in the Southwest. So it was fun out here, and other things that I didn't get to do while I'm out here, but I might try and tackle before heading out is I wanted to help with teepee grounds here, and we don't have any areas space like that yet. So just thinking about how to take care of that and do that before heading out.
Oh, awesome. I got to stay and help at a Muskogee Eco Village in Alabama, and getting to go from Oklahoma to Alabama, I definitely get the different terrain and
Mm,
getting to live
yeah.
off the earth and getting to just experience what it kind of feels like when people talk about land back. So,
Mm.
um, does it? How do you feel being there versus being out in the regular world? Like, do you feel more free, inspired with your artwork? Do you feel more like, I don't know, like to me, I guess what I'm asking, like when I was there, like it was like a detox from everything, like taking myself out of the everyday chaos and then
Yeah.
simplifying and then trying to refocus on what I wanted to do. And like when I came back, like that's when I was like head first into helping out our youth in our communities, especially in our LGBTQ communities. They really need it right now because it's a scary time for them. So I guess in that aspect, I'm asking like, is there more inspiration now that you're away from the everyday life, and has it helped you any?
Yeah, there's actually some work that I wanted to paint that I didn't feel like I could do like in the city space. I felt like I needed somewhere where I could disconnect. And luckily for me, the farm has enough space for me to do that. So I grabbed my canvas and then strapped it to a tree further up the hill, and then started to paint up there for pretty much the whole summer. Spent the summer up there. That means carrying my materials and everything back and forth, but it was fun and it was worth it. I got to, I guess, create a little comfortable spot for myself up there. I had I had like some chairs up there. You know, I had like a little battery pack to keep my phone going. I had I had a lot of things up there to take care of me. So just hanging out up there too has allowed me to see like the life in the area that just happened to come through, thinking that I'm not there. So you see coyotes, you see deer, you see like different types of birds, so many different types of birds. It was really nice just to be up there, and it does help to be away from the city to focus on art and then decompress, because it's kind of hard to create art in a time like this, and sometimes it's necessary. So for myself, it was, especially through the summer.
Most definitely. Like
Mm.
the times that I spent over there, I spent 3 months there, but it felt like it was forever. But it retaught myself because like I guess I had gotten really lazy, and then getting to work on the eco village and learning to work with your hands like every day, and then just getting inspiration from everything, and like even like running into the animals too. That was crazy because like
Mm.
where I'm from, it's kind of more rural and just a lot more traffic. So I feel like the animals are more on edge here. But when I ran into it out there in the eco village, because it's like on 700 some acres. So
Mm.
like when you run into animals, like they're all calm and peaceful, and it's just like you're just in passing no matter what it was. And there was like crazy animals out there,
Yeah.
and I was all like, kind of like hello, and offer it food and go about my day, and nothing bothered me. Nothing was like trying to attack me or anything. So I was just like, okay. It's like even coyotes too. I'm afraid of them here in Oklahoma, but in Alabama, I would see them. If I had any snacks on me, I would just let them down and take off, and they never bothered
Yeah,
me. So,
that's, that's cool.
uh,
They don't seem to mind me walking around them up here, but we did have to chase some coyotes away for the sheep's sake. Other than that, like it's been really chill here. I mean, I don't, animals don't scare me, and they're pretty nice.
have you had any inspiration from the animals?
Um, yeah, oddly enough, the spiders. There's so many different types here,
Yeah.
and it's kind of exciting to see them just everywhere, and they don't hurt you. They're climbing on you half the time, or they're like setting up their webs just right where you're
Yeah.
painting or something. Yeah,
And their
they've
webs are
inspired
so
me.
much different too. Like I noticed
Yeah.
that there in Alabama too, there was so many different spiders, and there was one. It looked like a crab or something off of Mario Brothers. And it was like a little crab-looking spider, and it had little spiky things, and it was like really cool colors. They'd be like orange and black, or white and red, or red and white, or red and orange. It was like weird looking thing, but it had little spikies on it, and like they were just like
Mm.
hop. They were little bitty spiders, and I was like, those are my favorites. I don't even like spiders, but
Yeah.
like those are so cool. Um, so is there anything, any kind of projects that are y'all working there on the village that we should know about?
Um, there's always something. Creatively, we just want to just paint more things, and just have the places up here, the little buildings, be colorful and have murals on them, um, just so it can be more inviting, so the community sees that the land isn't vacant and that we're, here changing it for the better.
And can anyone come visit at any time, and or if they wanted to come help with
Right.
painting or anything?
Yeah, there are some volunteer days, that we'll post when we need help with like sheep care or cleanup or like gardening or garden days and things like that. Um, but then, people are encouraged to also just visit if they want to come by and check out the space and even spend the day here, relax. There are some folks that come through to do art projects, which is really cool. They spend time here and just relax too while they're doing that. So
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to come up there sometime. I'm going to come and to an action camp sometime. So Auntie is coming. Well, I think that is the last of my questions. Is there anything you would like to plug, or is there any way we can support you in your journeys and your artwork?
um, yeah, well, I'm just on Instagram, my art, under at Averian. I am always working on art, but I don't make it a priority. The concepts are the priority, so those are always in my mind. The art will happen when it happens, and I love the support that I get when I do post. So not trying to push people to see or always view or always check it out, because it's not going to be consistent, but the art is going to be the art will be consistent. The subject matter and my will to put that in the forefront. So
And if anyone ever needed to contact you, if they were doing a protest or any kind of activism, is that the way to contact you is on Instagram?
yeah, or for other work, you can do it through Instagram. My email is also averian.d.chee@gmail. So that's another way people can reach me if they have inquiries about my work, or possibly doing workshops in murals, or painting a mural, or anything like that.
One of our guests asked if we could see some of your work before we take off.
I have a lot of it's outside. I have one here. This is one I finished and posted like a couple days ago or something. This is I don't know if that even shows really well.
I can see it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a painting of Standing Rock when I was there early in the morning. You'd leave your tent or wherever you're sleeping, and you'd really hear like songs playing, people running ceremony, and and there'd be like there'd be like, in this situation, I remember there being like 10 to 15 teepees up, and people were running ceremony in those ones, and there's hundreds more. But while this is happening, you hear the drones above you, you hear the biplane flying over, and you still feel the lights beaming from the hill, and you realize like where you're at. And that was powerful for me in that moment. And I took a photo, and I thought to myself, like, I'll paint it, but it's too painful now. And it took a few years, and now I feel like it's time to start painting those moments.
Oh, yes. Is there a lot more that you're going to paint from Standing Rock?
I thought of doing one other piece. I just got to find, I guess, like, so I salvage a lot of my frames from like Goodwill. So I'm trying to find the right dimension, and then I'm gonna just take it apart and then put canvas on it. So I'm just looking for that right now, and I do want to do some more depictions of it, and I want to do a larger piece. And I don't want to give away what it is yet, but it'll be moments from real moments there.
Awesome. Well, only last question I usually like to ask is there a favorite Indigenous dish that you like to cook or like to eat?
There's so many. I'd like a
dish it.
mutton sandwich.
Mutton sandwich,
and,
yes.
And the sheep are kind of teasing me on a daily basis, just being my friends here. So I can't, that's what I miss. With green chili, the works.
Do y'all butcher the sheep there?
No. They're just pets. I know everybody's sad about that. But they're our friends now. I don't think I could even do that.
Well, we might have to donate just one, just so you can have a mutton sandwich.
Yeah.
I love mutton tamales. That was one of my favorites when I went to go visit my ex. It was delicious. Yeah. I was like, I've never had a mutton tamale, but it was so delicious and so, I don't know, healthy than the pork that I was used to. But yeah. Well, Adrian, thank you so much for joining us. I wish you the best, and hopefully we can all come visit you and help you with some murals sometime. Thank you all for joining us on Skoden Talks with the Homies. I'm your Auntie Sage, and we will see y'all next time.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.